Yeah, even for someone, I mean, they throw the word sniper around almost as much as they throw the word hero around way too often. Anyone with a hunting rifle, a 30-06 like that, that's an easy shot. 200 yards as a sniper, which I am, you pick which nostril you want and I'll put it in it. So that's easy.
The fact that people were cheering when he died, normal people, housewives, moms, like people working at banks, people working at various industries, celebrating a man getting shot in front of his kids, in front of the whole world.
That's
like,
evil.
What the is wrong with us? Most people recognize, like, hey, as a collectively, as a society, this is not right. It just got shot in front of the whole world. It's not a thing to celebrate ever.
So you said violent.
Is society broken right now? This is Jason Chaffetz, former congressman. Joe Rogan brings up a great question. How broken is our society when people that you probably sit next to at church, maybe in the school drop-off line, definitely some of the school teachers, you might have bought a car from some of these people. They could be friends or family, and they're celebrating the death of a guy by the name of Charlie Kirk. And I have watched a lot of Charlie Kirk videos. I can't find anything that nasty that the guy said. I really can't. Let's listen to what Jason Chaffetz says. This is interesting. This is a real conversation.
Did you find that those in attendance last night felt like Joe Rogan felt, or were they talking about it that way?
Yeah, I think if Joe Rogan had said that right there, everybody would cheer, because it's exactly right. Everybody's seen vile talk and aggressive talk online. I mean, social media is omnipresent. But there's a difference when you actually advocate for violence. And what's not happening at the federal, state, and local level is people are not being called out, but they're not being detained. I think they should be prosecuted. If you started making examples of some of these people, I mean, you're in the public eye. I'm in the public eye. Just because you're a member of Congress doesn't mean you should daily be on the receiving end of death threats.
He's got a good point. Now, I know there is a thin line between free speech and inciting violence, but we've seen over the last 2 years, it's really ramped up the rhetoric from the left. People constantly calling Donald Trump a fascist, a racist, a xenophobe, a Nazi. And now everyone else, it has been deflected to us. You would be surprised at how many hate emails I get from people all around the country calling me all of those horrible names. And they're inciting this stuff. Love to get your comment down below before we get too far into this video. If you want to become a member on the channel, scan this right here. You can become a member on Patreon. You can join the channel on YouTube and get into the Discord server. And let's talk about this, because the same party that says they're the party of peace, that they want to turn the temperature down in the room, is actively calling for violence.
I can only point in my time to one instance where somebody was arrested and actually sentenced to jail in Florida for saying he was going to kill me. But imagine how many often this happens to Trump and the cabinet and members of Congress and local leaders. It needs to stop, and there needs to be a more aggressive posture in enforcing that law. That steps over the line.
Jason, can I ask you about this? Because the
Love to get your thoughts on this. Does it cross the line? Who sets the line? I don't know. But we know under Biden, we know under Obama, we remember all of these people saying, go high, we go low, let's punch them in the face, all this other stuff. We've heard it. Let's keep moving. This is a great topic. Now, RobONeill, former Navy SEAL, RobONeill was just on the Piers Morgan show. And he talks about something that happened that we all watched. And I want you to hear what RobONeill says about the whole Charlie Kirk debacle, assassination.
Me, I mean, it was off right from the beginning for me. Do we not guard rooftops anymore? There's been assassination attempts all over the world. Right. Why aren't we looking at rooftops? And then when I was sent the video with this at the same message where they said Charlie Kirk was just shot. When I watched that horrific video, he was obviously dead before he hit the ground. But the questions immediately started to come to me. That was not an entry wound that we saw. We saw an exit wound. So where'd that bullet come from? You don't bleed like, and I've shot guys closer than the camera was. And an entry wound doesn't look like that. An exit wound does. Why did his shirt move the way it did? When I've shot people, their shirts didn't move like that. And then the initial reaction was, well, he was obviously wearing body armor and it was deflection. One, no. He wasn't wearing body armor. And two, it doesn't deflect like that off of body armor. Why was his shirt moving from right to left? Why were people being interviewed saying, yeah, they came from my left to right, from his right to left, immediately shut down? And then did they tear the crime scene down immediately? Just right off the bat, from seeing it, knowing he was dead, saying a lot of this is bad, not even getting into the soliloquy of text messages that 22-year-olds don't send their trans lover. So immediately it's just, the official story sounds like it needs to be investigated. But now, the whole...
I have waited to even comment on what I saw, and I wish I would not have seen this. But RobONeill, very famous, we know about the shots that he's taken against, those bad guys, SEAL Team 6. But RobONeill brings up a very solid point, bringing up some of the inconsistencies about what we saw. And magicians often use sleight of hand to get you to look the other way. I don't know if that's what happened here. I can't pass judgment on it. I'm a dumb submarine guy. But I do have faith and I do have confidence in someone like RobONeill with his experience being a SEAL team sniper and being able to make these kind of judgments. I believe there's a lot of people that have really jumped into this, becoming, quote, ballistics experts and other experts, and, saying there was a guy in a bush without knowing the whole thing or without really having the background for me to put any faith in or to put any confidence in. Leave your comment down below. Society has become twisted. We've been celebrating it. We all saw what happened to Charlie Kirk right there in Utah. Apparently now they have paved over what would have been a crime scene. Something doesn't add up, and I don't know what it is, but I'm not the person to really weigh in on that at all.
If you were doing that with all your training, you were one of the most elite guys in special forces in American history. If you were dismantling this precise rifle, how long would it take you to do it?
A 30-06, well, it's going to take several minutes. I can't even remember I grew up, my first rifle was a 30-06 in Montana, and I can't remember the last time I took it apart. I could take the bolt out, clean that off, but in order to break it down to the point where you can even walk with a limp, it's going to take a solid 5 minutes, I would guess, with different... I don't even think you use that type of a screwdriver that he had with his DNA conveniently all over it, because everything you touch has your DNA on it. It's just taking it apart, putting it together, taking a shot cold bore, by the way, where your scope wasn't on there, taking it back apart, putting it in your pants, climbing down a fence, getting back into the woods, putting it together as you're on the run, wrapping it in a towel, then driving 200 miles away to type to my love the 300 lines of text. It's just, none of it makes sense to me. Again, I'm not conspiring with anybody, and I'm not saying it was something that it's not. And like Mike was saying, it's usually the most obvious thing that happened is what happened. I wish it never happened, but so many things just don't add up to me.
Do things add up to you? But whenever I hear someone like RobONeill bring up the highlights, it makes me question some things. I'm not a conspiracy guy, and I'm a big believer in Occam's razor. Usually the simplest, easiest answer is more often than not the answer. Leave a comment down below. Let's keep moving. RobONeill brings up some great points here. What are your thoughts? That's RobONeill, SEAL Team 6, Silver Star winner. I just have to question multiple things whenever I hear it portrayed, whenever I hear it put out in that factual outline. I've really got to rethink some things. Let's keep going here. I've got a clip here from Joe Rogan I want to play.
We're getting numb as a society of seeing people die.
Well, the Charlie Kirk, my eyes.
Yeah.
I never expected so many people would celebrate that man's murder.
That is evil. That's
bizarre. It's just bizarre. Like normal people that I think they're good people, and they genuinely think that guy was a bad guy. And I don't think they're right, and I think they were indoctrinated. And I don't agree with everything that Charlie Kirk said or did.
I don't care if he was a bad guy or not.
He's not a bad guy.
I don't want to see him. I don't want to see anybody die.
First of all, he's fucking your age, right?
Yeah.
30, he's a young guy, right? And he would go around to college campuses and have arguments with people or have discussions with people, have debates with people.
Yep.
But it infuriated people because they felt like this guy is going against the progress that was being made in society.
I don't think they thought he was going against the progress in society. I believe that he wasn't going along with the hive mind thought process that the lunatics wanted. And he stood his ground and he stayed firm with his Christian beliefs. And that is why they got rid of him. And you can say progressive society, whatever you want. Society doesn't progress by becoming deranged. Society doesn't progress by becoming violent. And the same people that are saying now, turn down the temperature in the room, are the ones that were celebrating his death. So, Joe, I like your show. I know I'll never get an invitation. I'll never go on there 7 times like some people. But I think you're wrong on this one, Joe. Or maybe you're just a little off, but that's okay. We're allowed to disagree.
What he did not feel like was progress. Like it was a progressive agenda that was being pushed in most college campuses. It's a leftist, Marxist sort of agenda. He didn't feel like that was the correct way to live, and he felt like he had arguments against it, and he wanted, and it was, it's a business too, right? Like he developed this big social media platform because of it, and I don't, like I said, I don't agree. I don't think some of the things he said he should have said, but the fact that people were cheering when he died, normal people, housewives, moms, like fucking people working at banks, people working at various industries, celebrating a man getting shot in front of his kids, in the front of the whole world. What's wrong with us?
What is wrong with people? Are you surprised by some of your friends, family, co-workers' reactions to Charlie Kirk's death? I want to say I'm surprised, but I'm not, because I have heard the rhetoric. I've gotten the looks when I wear my Make America Great Again hat. I've gotten the looks when I have an American flag on my t-shirt. I've gotten those looks, so I'm not surprised by society. Some of you that are surprised, I'm glad you're surprised. I hope it's a damn wake-up call. Now, the next wake-up call we're going to talk about is what is going on right now in our federal government, where a party of the people, for the people, the Democrat Party, is now shutting down the government for people that are not citizens. We're going to get into this.
Returning back to Detroit this morning after the Republicans failed to show up in the U.S. House, we got to make sure Americans have the health care that they need. And if that means we got to shut this government down, so be it.
But it's not for Americans. This is a Democrat congressman out of Michigan, and they're not shutting down the government for Americans. They are shutting down the government for illegal aliens. And that's a major problem for me. When you shut down the federal government of the United States for people that shouldn't be here to get health care, we've got real problems. Leave your comment down below. Do you agree with this? And should this guy even be a congressman in the United States? He's not from here. He's got ulterior motives. Ilhan Omar, Rashida Tlaib, we've seen these others that are not American citizens, but are now controlling federal tax dollars, can send people to war, and they have never understood or accepted our society or our way of life. I say get the hell out.
That President Trump is going to use that as an opportunity not to tell people you're furloughed for a few days, but instead to send pink slips and to get rid of left-wing bureaucrats who are imposing left-wing priorities that are contrary to President Trump's priorities. I think that is fantastic, and what it's going to do is it's going to cause Democrats in Congress to scream and weep and gnash their teeth. I cannot wait for the next Democrat lunch when they start screaming at each other, when they start seeing pink slips go out at the EPA, at the Department of Labor, at the IRS, and suddenly the bureaucrats that they are entrusting to advance their job-killing agenda are themselves without a job. That's what's going to end this shutdown, as the Democrats are realizing that President Trump is making major advances for economic liberty as a result of the Democrats' temper tantrum.
What do you think? Do you agree with this shutdown? I firmly believe, because of the priorities of the Democrat Party, they support the cartels, they support illegal aliens, they support a woke military, they support illegal aliens in sanctuary cities. They're anti-law enforcement. They're anti-ICE. They are pro whatever gender ideology that you can come up with. They are absolutely destroying themselves from within. And the hatred for one man has destroyed the entire Democrat Party. What do you think? Have you lost friends and family because of this? I know I have. But you know what? I'm okay with it. I'm okay with it. Because I feel like I have a little bit of morality.
Piece of this puzzle came in Donald Trump's speech during that meeting where they hauled in all of the generals to listen to Secretary Hegseth and then the president. And he said, San Francisco and Chicago, New York, LA, we'll straighten them out one by one. It will be a major part for some of the people in this room. So to the generals, you're going to have to be part of this. It's a war too. It's a war from within. We're under invasion from within. And for those of you who have been telling me, about how language matters, right? And it's what the left is saying. The enemy within, which is a term that he's used repeatedly, he's used to refer to.
I used it yesterday.
Nancy Pelosi.
I think that's where he got it.
60 Minutes, the Biden administration. No, used it a lot on the campaign trail. So what he's saying to a room of people who have sworn an oath to the Constitution, not to him, even though I know that that's confusing for him, is that you're going to do whatever I want, and I'm going to sick you on the quote unquote enemy within, which includes people who are your political opponents. So the American people, a la that poll, have seen.
The Democrat Party weaponized the federal government, the justice system, the FBI, and law enforcement against conservatives. And now, when the Democrats realize that law enforcement in the United States military is being used for good, they're suddenly the victims. And Jessica Charloff is a victim. She works for the Open Society with George Soros. She's a paid employee there. I don't know how she keeps a job at Fox News. I'd love to know what you think about this. As anti-Russian as she is, she's married to a Russian. She never talks about that. Let's finish this.
Seen through it, and folks who vote like me.
Who are the? No. Wait, who's the enemy within again?
Well, for
you lost
Donald
me on
Trump,
that.
it's everyone he doesn't like. Adam Schiff,
No. I think he's talking about criminals, and he's talking about the woke radicals who protect him. It's kind of easy.
He's talking about Antifa.
He's talking about, he's talking about, it's so simple. Why do you have to expand the target? You guys do that already. No. Don't do it for us. We are very specific about who we go after.
The
criminals.
No.
Criminals. You know why Trump is winning? No. Do you know why Trump is winning on immigration and crime? Because you can't lie about it.
Boom! Greg Gutfeld. I would be very, I would take a wager that there's probably no conservatives dressed in masks outside of the ICE detention center in Chicago or Portland. I doubt there's any conservatives, any Christian conservatives out there protesting and burning things. The Democrat Party has to own this at some point. They will never admit it, but they've got to own it.
The president's been posting some images of Leader Jeffries and Senator Schumer recently. You've said that you're interested in good faith negotiations with these leaders, but what message does that send? Is it helpful to post pictures of Leader Jeffries in a sombrero if you're trying to have good faith talks with him?
Oh, I think it's funny. The president's joking, and we're having a good time. You can negotiate in good faith while also poking a little bit of fun at some of the absurdities of the Democrats' positions, and even, poking some fun at the absurdity of the Democrats themselves. I mean, I'll tell Hakeem Jeffries right now, I make this solemn promise to you that if you help us reopen the government, the sombrero memes will stop.
The Democrat Party, Hakeem Jeffries, are freaking out about the sombrero memes. But the Democrat Party will not disavow Donald Trump being shot, a second attempt on his life by a Democrat. They will not agree or disavow that the rhetoric is what caused it. When they called Donald Trump a fascist, Hitler, and all these other deranged lunatic terms, they will not. But now that the tide has turned, And Donald Trump retweeted an image of Hakeem Jeffries with a sombrero because they're defending illegal aliens, which wear sombreros. Now they're the victims. This is pitiful. And I'm glad to see J.D. Vance pushing back. More importantly, I'm glad to see J.D. Vance laughing at these people. Guys, I want to say thank you for tuning in this afternoon. Thank you for watching. Make sure you smash the like and subscribe button. Let me know what you think in the comments. Are we as a society in moral decay when we have people, school teachers, bus drivers, whatever, celebrating the death of Charlie Kirk? Are we being misled about the entire incident? You saw RobONeill bring up some very relevant points about the whole shooting. What is wrong with the Democrat Party, and why are they putting illegal aliens before you, the American citizen? And then suddenly, how can the Democrat Party twist it so that they are the victim? Like, subscribe, thumbs up to the channel. You can join me as a member. Scan this little thing over here, become a member on the channel. Support my sponsor, Keen Greens. You get 30% off. Subscribe and save 10% on your first order. And all the money raised there goes to help a veterans nonprofit. This is the Ben Dykes Show. Thank you. See you on the road. Stay safe.